Welcome to Shit That Matters, right? That's what we're
Yes,
yeah.
it used to be Weird Vibes.
Yeah, but
we changed the name because nobody knew what Weird Vibes meant. But Shit
Yeah.
That Matters is good.
so thanks for coming out. Do you
My
guys
pleasure.
want to do a little intro, a little about yourself, about me, Paige? Yeah,
Sure.
you can go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm Dave Marchant. I'm one of the owners of Full Boar Craft Brewery up in North Syracuse, New York. Been open for 6.5 years now. I started out in banking a long, long time ago and gave that up to enjoy making beer and drinking beer and I don't know,
So
whatever comes in.
who owns it with you?
So the other partner is Eric Petranchik.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Who is at a meeting right now with his main employer. So he went back to work. We both left our jobs.
Oh, but he went back.
And
What
he went back.
What did he do?
So he was in financial planning. I was in branch management, small business lending,
What bank did you work?
a bunch, but
Yeah.
M&T, HSBC.
Oh yeah, my wife was at HSBC a million years ago.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
And then back to M&T, and then the glory of brewing called my name, and here I am.
You would think that
Do you
two
regret
guys.
it?
Oh, yeah.
No. I mean, people always ask me, what do you miss the most about banking? And it was the biweekly paychecks. Those were
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't.
But you would think with two guys that have, extensive financial backgrounds would look at a business like this and go, dude, this is way too much work for the little money. It's got to be passionate more than.
I mean, that definitely played a role. I mean, for me, part of it was finally doing something for myself
Yeah,
and
yeah.
kind of commanding my own destiny, and decisions I make impact me, and there's not somebody else out in Buffalo making decisions that,
Yeah.
determine.
How old are you, Dave?
I am 53 years old.
So you did that when you were 46, 47?
Yeah, I have a fantastic wife
Yes.
who supports
Yes.
me,
That's good.
and
I do as well. And so does Tim. But
Yeah.
Michelle isn't married yet because Pat hasn't asked the question.
'Cause he
Shout
won't
out to the
propose.
Lord.
Yeah.
Lord Patrick.
Fine. What? How long did we get? 2 minutes in till you talked about how
Every
he hasn't
podcast we've done 15 now. The first podcast we ever did, I spent probably
the whole time
35
talking about
of the 45 minutes talking about how engagements and getting a ring and doing that stuff. So it's kind of one of those things. But yeah.
Yeah. All right, you're
Okay.
up.
The squirrel.
Hi. My name is Tim. I own Buried Acorn Brewing Company in Syracuse. Yeah.
Oh, I get it now. Buried Acorn, the squirrel. It took me a minute. Oh.
Are you serious?
I just got it. I just got it.
Oh my god.
I just got it. Now I get it. Okay.
So, how long have you guys been in business?
It'll be 5 years this summer.
5 years. Wow.
Yep.
Oh,
And
I thought it was longer.
yeah, I don't know. My wife is also really great.
Yes.
Yeah, she couldn't be here today because we lost our third cook in 3 weeks. So,
Really?
You lost him, like misplaced him, or
we took him out back.
yeah,
put
yeah.
him
There
down.
you go. Did they just like stop coming to work, or
Yeah, yeah.
no? Like I'm gonna give you 2 week notice. Anything?
One of them gave us 2 weeks. The other two just ghosted.
Do you know if they went and stayed in the industry, or did they leave and go to a different industry?
I think one's a student, so probably
No,
not.
yeah.
Or just the other one, well, probably staying in the industry. I think.
I think that's the difference that we see now, or we're all seeing now, is where if Michelle or somebody had said, "Oh my God, I just lost my night cook," the next question would be, "What restaurant did he go to?"
Right.
But that's not happening now.
No.
They're literally leaving the industry and not cooking anymore, and not working in food service, and going to a different industry, or Uber in, or Lyft in, or working at Amazon. They're just leaving the industry, and nobody's taking their place. It's challenging, man. Super challenging.
Yeah, I can't imagine having to deal with that. I mean, we
You
don't have a
don't-
kitchen, so
Right,
yeah.
and my staff, besides myself and our brewer Blaine, they're all part-time bartenders, and they all have main gigs. This is kind of their side money, side hustle, and
So they're doing it for the fun as well as the money,
the
which
fun.
is kind of
I
cool.
mean, yeah, I mean it's bartending in a brewery. It's really not difficult. We got our busy nights, but for the most part, if you know something about
You
beer,
got food. You got those trays of chips. I've knocked out a tray or two of chips in there.
yeah,
So,
they've gone up in price a lot.
yeah, yes. So
But you have where's your kitchen though?
So-
Now you have a tap room.
Yeah, we have two. So we put in a new taproom restaurant over at Irving and Fayette.
Okay.
And then we put in a kitchen at our original brewery location at Van Rensselaer and Hiawatha Boulevard.
Oh.
So we have two kitchens now.
Okay.
And believe it or not, with those two kitchens, we have Crystal and another cook.
That's it?
That's all we got.
Yeah.
All hours.
And not by choice.
No, it just happened.
Yeah.
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 But the location over at Irving and Fayette, we're only open Tuesday through Saturday, so we're only open 5 days a week. So that kind of works out. But the brewery location by the mall was 7 days a week. So.
Oh, you're 7 days
Yeah.
still.
What did you do before this?
Oh, I was a musician, and then I was also working around breweries and stuff, bartending and bartending in Chicago, and then
Not here, though.
no, not here. No, we moved. Crystal grew up in Chicago. We moved from there to this area to do the project, and
Really, you chose Syracuse as a place to go 5 years ago. I don't think.
Are you from Syracuse?
well, I'm from here.
Okay,
yeah.
originally, okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
sorry,
Something
I
had
didn't
to
say
bring
that.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
no,
had
so
to
I grew up here.
This is not like
And then,
destination. Although I love it.
What high school would you go to?
I went to Chittenango High School.
Chittenango, yes.
Where did you go?
So I moved around a bunch. I moved 5 times before as a junior in high school.
Oh, my gosh.
So I finished up at Bishop Grimes, go Cobras.
Yep. Nice. Yep. Another private school.
Yeah, originally from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah.
Canada.
Yep.
Did you know?
We
I
like
didn't-
beer in Canada.
Did
so,
you see the
know.
commercial from the Super Bowl? All the shit that was made that's invented in Canada.
I did see
Football
that.
was invented in Canada.
I know, I did
There's
know
like
that.
15 things that were invented in Canada. I didn't believe
There's
it.
probably more than 15, but that's all they had time for.
Yeah,
$7
and at the
million,
end he goes,
so-
Google it. So I Googled it, and he's right. Football was invented in Canada. Crazy.
I didn't watch. We had 3 kids at the house. It was a little chaotic for the Super Bowl for me, but
Do you think a lot of so? How many breweries do you think there are in Central New York right now? We've asked this question of other people.
You never know. I never quite know.
Do you think there's too many?
Not enough.
No.
Not enough, really.
Bring them on.
I think really. I always think that the people that are in the industry would think that less is better for competition.
I think Syracuse is still underrepresented. You look at Rochester, Buffalo, they're everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. When we opened up, we were only the 5th brewery.
That's what I'm going to say. How long do you think? Like, Middle Ages was the first and the original kind of one.
Yep.
And then what's his name over in North
Empire.
Syracuse?
Well, Empire was when
Empire
we-
too,
So
yeah.
when we opened, it was Empire and Middle Ages, the old dogs, and then Willow Rock,
Kevin, yeah,
WT, Eastwood were open.
What about North Syracuse, the one over by where
IBU?
that
IBU
was-
opened after us.
After
Shortly
you?
after, yeah.
Oh, really?
We opened up in June. They opened up in December.
oh,
And then Stoutbeard opened up somewhere right around us as well.
So
but
there's
like
got to be 25.
Oh my God, easily,
Probably,
yeah. But it's 6-7 years is when it started.
yeah,
Yeah.
So 2012 is when they rewrote some of the liquor laws that allowed breweries to sell pints and flights and
Yeah.
kind of cash flow your business that way, as opposed to being a pub or distribution brewery.
We dig on the breweries mainly because a lot of breweries do one or two things well. Like 315 does something cool. He doesn't have a kitchen, but I think somebody told me he's building one now. M's building one, but there's a different food truck there every night. So he's not with the food. He's just doing his beer, and there's different food every night. So we go, and most breweries, probably more than a brick and mortar restaurant, have bands. I'm a big live music guy, so a lot of times we've gone to both places. Mainly the reason we choose going to places is because you got live music. And then a lot of breweries
There's
have
just
really
something
good
going
food.
on.
The ones
I
that
think
do
there's
food
always
do it well.
something.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I think that's part of the community engagement that breweries offer is just kind of doing
Yeah.
events and like just getting the community together.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of kind of impromptu or small groups, parties that we don't charge for the space. They come in and
yeah.
set up shop, bring their own food in, and then have a little party, and it's a great.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's
nice for us because
awesome.
chances are, of a group of 20 people, there's only 2 or 3 that have been to the brewery before. So
Yeah.
it's introducing new people to us, and
I heard Kevin on a different podcast. He used a term, and I can't remember the term now, but he talked about how
I do, because you told me 17 times. You said it to me.
something consumer.
Yeah, conscious
a
consumer.
conscientious consumer. That maybe through COVID or whatever's happened now, that the consumer is more conscientious. They're conscientious about how much money they spend and about where they spend it. So the old days of me getting together with my buddies and going, let's go get shit-faced down it. Let's go down and get bombed and do shots and stuff. That's not happening as much today because people are conscientious about how much they drink and where they drink. So.
Or that it's good beer.
That
I
it's
feel
good
like
beer,
they would
yeah.
rather have like 3 or 4 good beers at a brewery than 12 Bud Lights, maybe. But
Do you
what?
get the beer snobs? 'Cause
Oh,
we-
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
can't-
we get, that's the
Yeah,
one thing
that's
that's kind of
interesting
amazed me about
how-
breweries and the people that come in are all over the gamut of experience and knowledge about beer.
Do you feel like your staff is like not welcome to talking with the beer snobs? I guess I would say. Do they like enjoy it, or is it like the
I think it depends on
the
each
way
person.
that they're approached?
You know, when we first opened, first of all, there's no reason for us to ever open a brewery. We knew absolutely nothing about what we were doing. Just kind of dove in and
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
swam really hard.
Yeah.
But you know, and I love beer, but I was never somebody that researched beer and knew everything about every style and all that kind of stuff. And you know, the first 6 months when people are throwing things at me, asking me questions about brewing, and you know, I'm a pretty good BSer. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you
But
speak with
you're-
authority, and people
banker.
will believe you.
Banker,
Yeah.
you got to be able to
Oh.
lie to people.
Trust me, I knew less about that than I did brewing.
So did you start brewing though?
So
have you always had a brewer?
We started brewing ourselves. Eric was doing the brewing. I was handling the front of the house.
Okay.
Both Eric and I were home brewers back in the 90s. So
Okay.
when I got out of college, I started home brewing, and that was, you know, you didn't have YouTube and the internet, and you had,
Yeah.
you know, magazines and a book. And
You think
know,
people, the homebrew thing
made
is
a
still
lot
as
of bad
big as it
beer.
used to be? Or maybe they're not doing it because there's so many breweries out there.
Well, I think there's still a lot. I get a lot of home brewers coming in.
Really?
Talk
Still?
shop,
Interesting.
yeah.
We just did a big homebrew event at our brewery where we made wort and then unfermented beer.
Yeah.
And then the home brewers all brought carboys, you know, the little vessels, buckets, carboys,
Right.
whatever.
That's
Squirt
terminology,
bottles.
I don't know what
whatever,
those
you know.
things are.
That's awesome. That's
And so we
cool.
just gave out the wort for our Hell's Lager. And then we're going to have an event in a couple of weeks here when it's all done fermented. And we're going to, I don't know, talk about it, drink it.
Oh, wow.
So
Get a
You're
brewer home.
you're knowledgeable. You like a beer snob? Would
you're
consider-
brew. You help brew. Are you the head
Yeah,
brewer?
yeah, I brew.
Yeah.
And we have
Tim's
Sean.
everything.
Sean helps out.
Sean, yeah.
And I bartend and sweep the floor sometimes.
Yeah, you got to do all of
You
it.
got it.
Everything.
Yeah. You are a little
I
bit
gotta
of
count it.
everything.
Yeah.
$4 that we make every month,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and put it in the bank for as a rainy day.
So out of all of the jobs that you have to do while running a brewery, what's your favorites that you do? What if you were like had to come in and every day you were like, "Yep, I'll do that, no problem." What would
Well,
you do?
I enjoy working the bar.
Okay.
I like the people. I love our
Socializing,
customers.
Yeah.
We have fantastic customers.
We just went to it was end of the summer last year. Our friends George and Jane Tardik came into
Yep.
town. Shout out to George and Jane. You said to say hi. They came in out of town just to go to your anniversary.
Okay, our
yeah,
anniversary
we were
party,
there.
yeah.
Patty Bennett and a bunch of us
Yep.
were there, and it was a great time. Everybody's just having fun. You got to like a situation like
Yep.
that.
I mean, we're pretty laid back guys, and generally it's come as you are. And
Well, I think
know,
too
just-
in breweries, when you go to a brewery, it always seems to me like if I go to a bar, sometimes the bartender is on their phone or they're just like, and you can't get a drink. You seem to go to a brewery. Maybe it's just my perception. Everybody's having fun, and sometimes the guy serving you or girl serving you is having just as much fun as you are.
Yeah.
So that's a cool place to go. So, would you brew or would you work the bar?
Yeah,
Which do
what's
you
your
like the best?
favorite?
My favorite is going on podcasts dressed like a squirrel. The second favorite,
I've never tried that myself.
Yeah.
I said in the
What do you have to
parking
dress?
lot.
What's a boar? A pig, right? You'd
Well, I
have to go in-
asked. He has a costume.
So we have a couple costumes, but
Oh, so I thought he was
they
going
don't
with
they
it.
don't make them large enough for me.
yeah.
So I had a couple of
See,
my
that's
employees
fun.
wear them.
Yeah.
What would
Yeah, we
I-
did a
nothing.
video for our
fun.
anniversary party.
You want a beer?
Let's fire it up. You
Yeah.
Want,
What do you want?
you want 1,000 tinies?
Yeah, let's 1,000
The
tiny.
one right over there. That's the one right there. Yes.
1,000
We made this
tinies?
beer together.
Oh, that's cool.
You want one too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you guys want me to?
I'm
get
not, my coffee's gone, so I'd love
Oh,
to have
okay.
that.
Oh, well,
Let's
you're
fire it up
chugging.
here.
What is it? What kind
I'm
of?
chugging. You chugging?
I'm not chugging. No, we're. Listen, I should chug though, but I'm
What
gonna.
kind of? What is it? Like what? Is it a
It's
lager?
a
Is it a
Belgian blonde. ale.
Abbey style blonde.
blonde?
Do you
Okay,
want
it's got
one?
blonde. I'll drink one. Yeah, why not
Okay.
get these guys
Do you
drink?
guys do you want a glass?
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm not a beer
one of those
snob.
craft beer artsy cans.
So it's
No,
called
I'm not
what?
a beer snob either. This beer is called.
Dude, what's going on? It says it right here on the front.
I don't have my glasses on.
Oh.
1,000 tiny Michael Jacksons breakdancing in my mouth.
1,000 tiny Michael
Okay.
Jacksons breakdancing in my mouth.
Wait,
Okay.
what can I go like this? Can I show it?
Okay. And you guys made this together?
Yeah.
Do breweries do a lot of that?
Collaboration?
Yeah.
Sure.
Collaboration.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
They're always
What
fun.
do you-
So, look, a lot of, so we learned during COVID that I was really surprised.
Well,
with-
cheers.
Cheers.
For a second.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Shh. She just shushed me? Oh my God, Ryan, she shushed me. Okay.
Ooh, I like this. I don't think I ever had
That's
this
actually
before.
not bad. Yeah. I
Ah,
feel
that's
like-
my favorite
the Belgian, I did not-
thing people say to me when they try our beer. Wow, that's actually not bad.
I,
Were you expecting it to be bad?
I feel like I've
at
had
the
this
bar,
on
it's
tap
awful.
here before. But
So we made this beer, in 2019, early 2019?
Yeah, it was pre-COVID.
Yeah, and then we just kept making it because it's funny. It's our second best-selling beer on site, so
No shit.
People
Can
just
or
love
draft?
saying the
Both.
name.
they like to order it. Yeah.
so do you guys both have it on tap at the brewery or rotate
We have it on tap. Yeah,
okay.
generally.
And then who distributes it? Because I feel like
This guy.
you-
OBC does, yeah, because it's made at my brewery, so I'm the
Oh,
one that
okay.
distributes
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I feel like I've had this. I definitely have had to have this
You've
on
had
tap
1,000
before.
Michael Jacksons?
Yeah, because I
What was
think
it? Exploding in your mouth?
breakdancing in your
Breakdance.
mouth. I think that Don, who does all my beer ordering, really liked the name, so was like, "We got to try this," and then so I think we put it on.
It does
And the
well.
can art is fantastic.
That's pretty cool, yes.
So the origin of this name for this beer, when Blaine,
A lot of weed,
the brewer,
I would imagine.
always.
In the name, yes.
but that may have, I don't know, it's. So Blaine, the brewer at Full Boar, texted me, "How's
Blaine
the
the
beer
brewer.
tasting?" This was like a week after we made it, and that's what I said. I said, "It tastes like 1,000 Michael
And I
Jackson's
said,
breakdancing in my
That's
mouth."
the beer name. Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Blaine
my
said,
gosh.
"Michael Jackson does a breakdance," and I said, "No, not Michael Jackson, the pop star, Michael Jackson, the beer writer."
There's a Michael Jackson beer writer?
Yeah.
There was.
Yep.
Was-
He's passed.
Oh, jeez. Did he pass before he knew that he had a beer made?
Oh, he
Yes.
passed in like '96.
Yeah.
or
Wow.
99.
So he was a beer writer. Helped make Clark's Ale House,
Oh, wow.
the
Okay.
original.
Doug, great guy.
Oh, so he's local.
No,
Oh, okay.
no. Is he English? I don't know where he's from.
What's a beer writer?
he's from the
You're
US of
like a
A.
recipe, like helps with the recipes.
He would rate beers, drink beers, pubs.
Oh, rater, not
Yeah.
writer.
Well, he wrote about
Wrote-
it. He wrote books.
Oh, okay. Oh my
He was like
God.
he was like
I
untapped.
had one sip and I'm like, I
Is
don't
it my
know what
Canadian
the fuck
accent?
You're talking about? Yeah. Okay.
A.
All right.
Eh?
Interesting.
So he has a show called Beer Hunter as well. It was on PBS
Oh, good play
in
on the
about
name.
1988 or 89. And we show it in the brewery on Mondays when no one shows up. And my wife yells at me about labor costs. Mondays suck.
Yeah.
In the winter they do for sure.
I feel
That's
like,
why we're not open on Mondays. I
Yeah.
tried that.
Don't tell my wife. See, now,
tried.
now she's got more ammo against being
we
open.
tried
Why?
Mondays.
Because I was gonna ask that why you want to be open 7 days a week. That's part of your brand.
We just
Or-
were always open 7 days
Yeah.
a week, and
Oh,
she's
okay.
like, "You're losing money on Monday in the winter." I'm like, "Oh, we're open. I
Yeah.
don't know." So we're gonna probably close down Mondays at the brewery next winter.
Oh, okay.
It's just one of those days that people don't venture out much.
Yeah.
But you guys are working together. Is that Crystal's gig as well?
Yeah. So,
So
she
that's
works.
got to be challenging to be in a marriage, have a business that has ups and downs. There's stress involved in it.
No, I think it's
No, it's not hard to be side by side on a Monday when it's really slow and not get in a fight. Dude,
What do you
I
mean
watched
not
the
getting a
fucking
fight?
Super Bowl
What
last
kind of
night,
marriage
got
are
in a
you
fight
in?
with my wife
You
4
always fight.
times.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
fine. That's
okay.
That's normal. That's okay.
Yeah,
It's healthy. It's healthy. But I would say that when we were able to bring Crystal on it freed up a lot of our lifestyle for sure, because we could stagger our schedules with each other rather than being like, all right, she used to be a supervisor at the post office, so she got to work from 6 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon every day of the 6 days a week. So now we just work 7 days a week all together. But
Yeah.
but
Do
So you
guys
see a
have
lot more of
kids?
each other.
yeah, what's that?
Do you have kids?
Yeah, we have 2 small kids, so then you got to
Okay.
schedule in the school
How old?
drop
What
offs and
age?
the so 7 and 9 now. So
Do they come in and are they into the brewery? Like they want to come in and dig through the?
So Sundays we have a family day there where we do
They-
brunch on Sundays.
They teach kids how to shotgun beers.
Well, no, they know. My kids don't.
Hit
Yeah.
the vibe.
They know.
We a master class for 10-year-olds shotgun and no. So my daughter does the dishes behind the bar and Wyatt does the dishes in the
Fucking
kitchen.
love that shit. I love
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
people's kids. There's a place in Utica called it's Charlie's Pizza, Utica Pizza here, Charlie DiCristina, and I haven't talked to Charlie in a while, but 10 years ago, so he has two kids or had two kids. One of them had absolutely nothing to do with the business, and one who's working in the business currently was had a YouTube video, whatever, you can go and Google it, was in contests and stuff of throwing dough. And he would throw dough to the ceiling here, catch it behind his back, put it between his legs, spin it and shit. Kid was like 12 years old, just spinning shit like crazy. And he just loved the business at that age and grew into it. So I love to see that next generation want to do it rather than
Yeah.
sitting on their tablet in the corner,
Yeah, we
I
were
have
forced to. Go ahead.
I have a 22-year-old son who
Oh,
works the
jeez.
bar.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's
Is it that his gig or does he have?
No,
another-
he's as a senior at UB, but when he's home during the summers and winter breaks,
That's cool.
yeah, I mean he's been helping out since he was old enough to
Yeah.
kind of wash glasses and whatever.
My dad used to tell me that there's no labor laws when it comes to family.
Yeah, you can pay him
So-
like 10 grand under the table. Not under the
No.
table. You have to
But yeah.
acknowledge it, but like
Yeah.
you can pay him.
You didn't get
Back in the
paid.
day, you
it
didn't
was
get
free.
paid
No,
anything.
it was free labor. Cut down that labor cost. And we used
Exactly.
to do dishes and stuff.
Well, my son unionized, so
Yeah.
he demands payment.
Oh no.
Him and his mother.
But you can pay him tax free, right?
Sure.
You can. You not under the table. I don't mean
You
it
can
like
pay
that.
No, I
if
think-
somebody's. I think it's up to 10 grand.
You're the
a
one that
year.
told me,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
10 grand a year.
Yeah.
But not kids that young. Or yes.
Yeah, any kid, anybody.
I
10
could for Elijah who's
Well,
4.
no, you got to be old enough to have working papers and have a social security number
Oh,
and all that.
So
You
yeah.
get a social. You don't like hit a certain age and
well,
get a
I
social
mean, you
security
got to
number.
have a
You get it when you're
when
born.
you're born.
kind of thing, but
It's
you
like
can
the
pay
first
them
thing that they do.
tax-free.
Right.
Interesting. Oh, okay. Well, he does it. He helps sometimes, but he's a little bit more of a.
Because you
pain
don't
in the
see
ass
that
right
in
now.
the industry now. Maybe more in the brewery, but you don't see
We
next
were-
generation restaurant owners.
We were
coming
forced
through.
into it during COVID.
Well, yeah.
It's like my kids were in school, and then the following Monday, on Friday, and then the following Monday, they're like, "Oh no, you're the teacher now."
Oh,
All right, come on, kids, we got to go brew.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're doing their Zoom
Hey,
calls. and
that's
there's
chemistry
just,
right
You
there.
know,
Yeah.
they're sitting at the bar doing their Zoom
Plus,
calls for
it's,
school.
I mean, in today's world, when do you get a chance to do stuff with your 9-year-old or your 10-year-old?
Yeah.
Well, they're doing shit with their friends. They're on a tablet. Oh my God, my dad and my mom are so old. I don't want to do shit with them. But here you are, side by side, doing stuff with them. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, we love it.
That's how my mom, I grew up in Altmar, New York. Shout out to Altmar. PW, public school, not private school.
Oh, there's. Okay.
We're
We're gonna fight about
my mom
this
managed the
forever.
local bar. And when I was a kid, 13, 14 years old, I went back and, I cook an order of fries and clean up and wash and stock the bar and do stuff. And then, I'm 16 and, 14, 15. And how I learned to drive was driving her and her friends around when they were drinking, and I'd be the driver. And that's how I learned how to drive. And then I played pool and cleaned up. And then I got my first bartending job there. And I just fell in love with the industry and never wanted to come back to it. Went to college. You got to work, so
Yeah.
you got experience. They'd hire you. Got done with college and said, "Hey, man, I want to wear a shirt and a tie and be professional." And graduated and went on some interviews and had a job offer to work at Key Bank, back to the banking industry, as like a manager trainee program. This is in 1987,
Okay.
and it was like $13,500 a year, like for 40 hours a week. But I got to wear a tie. Pizza Hut, I got to be a manager, but you work 50 hours, and was paying like 20 grand. I'm like, fuck, I'll go work at Pizza Hut, and then it just took off.
Right.
So,
You kind of get
Yeah.
in your groove.
but it's cool to see the kids working in the business. Are they the next generation? Is that your exit plan?
Well, I doubt it for
No?
my son. He enjoys
Yeah.
it, and I think it's again be a side gig for him. But he wants to go into school counseling and coach football. So.
Oh, cool.
I wouldn't wish this upon my children.
Yeah, see, that's the next.
Yeah. Well, I was the same. I never wanted to be in the business because my parents were in it for my whole life. So I was like, nah, I'm not fucking doing that. Like, I'm the same thing. I'm moving to a big city. I'm a professional lady. And then we went into business
A
together.
lady. You were
Yeah,
a lady.
I know. Now I'm not. But I guess, I don't know. I mean, I just want Elijah to do what makes him happy.
Right.
But I'm hoping that because obviously my dad started the business 20 years ago and like things are, but we're still, I mean, me and my mom did this. So it still fucking sucks a generation later. So I would say it would be nice if he started with me and it was like not as grueling as it is right now.
I think
But
it's gonna
I
get
don't
worse.
think
It's
it
gonna
will
get-
be.
it's gonna get
ever.
worse.
Yeah.
Labor is going to be, you're going to find out so much stuff automated. It's insane right now. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you go to Harvey's. Have you guys been to Harvey's yet? Or
I haven't had a chance yet. No.
Yeah, I've been down there a couple times.
I've never been to Harvey's, but I've been to Strigo and Baldwinsville. Same concept with the wine.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's
Kind
the
of
I've been
takes
to
wine,
away,
right?
but
Yeah.
that might be where it's going to. Is Michael using local breweries for his wall of
Yeah.
beer? Are you guys on the wall? Mm-hmm. Both of you? Oh, that's cool. I have to make sure I
Well,
go down.
But from what I understand, that he still has a bartender.
Yeah, to make mixed drinks
Right.
and do stuff.
Oh,
but
okay.
Well,
But-
and there's still you have to manage the getting the cards and the.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you have to have somebody that can talk about the beverages and.
Right. I don't know. I haven't been there yet. You've been there though.
I haven't been there yet. You know,
Oh, I feel like, but I am.
Date night.
I want a bartender. I'm a bar person though. I want to go sit at the bar and I want somebody to serve and chat about
Yeah.
the place.
So that's something that's changed for me since I opened a brewery. I was never a sit at the bar kind of guy.
Oh, you weren't?
No. And now like I want to sit at the bar and it's more to just talk to everybody else at the bar.
That's my.
I generally will
yeah.
leave the bartender alone because I realize, when
Yeah.
you're trying to do something,
yeah,
someone's
yeah.
like chit
Oh,
chatting.
because you've seen
Yeah.
that life now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's you got to learn how sometimes to break off a conversation because you got 7 other people down the side that need a drink.
What's your favorite? If you're going to go out to have a couple beers, or you and Renee are going to go out and have dinner, where do you go? Each two.
That's hard.
Buried Acorn
You
Brewing
don't have to
Company.
say buried acorn just because there's a fucking squirrel sitting.
I
next
do enjoy buried acorn.
to you. Yeah.
See? Told you.
Vincent, it's my favorite beer that you make. It's tasty.
Where do you go if you're going to dinner?
So I mean, we've been going to Board and Bar.
oh God, I
Shark-
just met them the
Oh,
other night. I got to go
love
down there.
it there.
I just met them. They're super nice people.
And part of it is just I like the kind of sit around a table and
Be
snack,
flashing.
Yeah.
and
And
you have
cocktail,
you have
yeah.
a chance to talk, and they got a good beer selection and wines. I mean, I drink more than just beer. So
Their cocktail. I was just there a couple weeks ago. Their cocktail list is pretty good too. Yeah.
But you're right
It's a
about.
fun place.
Used to, in the old days, you would go to O'Day's and say hi to the bartender. They'd know your drink and put
Yeah.
it down, and then you just shoot the shit with people. And a lot of times, people you don't even know, and you just start a.
well, you
people don't do
definitely.
that
I
as
mean, you
much 'cause they're
definitely
looking at their
learn what
phone
people
and-
drink. I mean, we have a mug club, and I generally know what most of our mug clubbers are going to start with when they come
that's
in. I mean, there's
fun.
certain people they don't change what they drink. They drink
What's
one
the mug
beer.
club deal?
So the mug club is it's a 20-ounce mug, and you pay the 16-ounce price
Okay.
for a pint. And
Do they have to have a membership?
you have to have it's $125 for the first year.
Okay.
You get 10% off merchandise, free beer on your birthday, free beer when you sign up. But we
Nice.
also do 2 mug club parties during the course of the year, in which we do some free drinks for our mug club members. And then Eric and I kind of started in this because we were doing competition barbecue for 3 years.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And Eric got back into home brewing heavy and had an all grain system. And so we were bringing beer to the barbecue competitions because basically that was just an excuse to sit outside, drink, and not do yard work or something like that in the summertime.
Right.
And then, you watch a couple TV shows and like, oh, we could do that.
Really? So you did barbecue, but you don't do it at the
No.
brewery. I would think it would complement.
So I said I didn't know much about running a brewery. I know absolutely nothing about running a commercial kitchen and
Yeah.
all
You're
the
like,
things.
why wouldn't you just do it? It's so fucking
Yeah.
hard to do.
So,
a kitchen.
and
True.
coming from banking, quite honestly, I mean, banks don't lend to startup restaurants
Never.
for a
Never.
specific reason.
Yeah.
So, we weren't borrowing money to start. We didn't have to, luckily. But I had enough nerves about opening the brewery. If I had a kitchen and all that goes into that, I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
Well, Nora knows.
I have got no experience working in and I like to cook.
'Cause Nora's the one
That's
that
how
runs
I
the
relieve
place.
stress. So I don't
that's-
know.
Yeah.
I don't think I could handle the pressure of
Yeah.
That
running a
line.
kitchen.
What about you? If you're going out for a beer, you can't. Probably working 7 days a week, but
We don't have fun.
no. Plus, you got 2 little kids or younger kids. Where do you go if you're going out to eat? Where do you go? What restaurant?
If it's just my wife and myself, we'll go to Eden.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's our
Yep.
favorite spot.
Yep.
It's
I've
like
never been there either.
world class.
You gotta
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I got to save
Yeah.
my paycheck and
I've
Everything
not
from
been
the
there,
s-
and it's one place I want to
He's-
go to because they cook everything over our fire, right?
Wood fire, yeah.
Yeah,
I-
that's
we
my
gotta go.
new
I'd do
kind
that
of
for a next date.
obsession.
Yeah.
Not only that, but further, when you walk into that place, all the welds on all the railings and all the bar top, it's all poured concrete. So all the finishing work in there, the chef did. Rich
Oh,
did
wow.
all of
Rich
it.
did all that?
Yeah.
I just had, he was at the same dinner. He was actually sitting with the people from Board and
Board and Barn.
Everything you
barn.
touched, from the walnut tables and everything, you're like, wow, the whole entire experience is completely
I have to
handcrafted.
check. We have to go there. That's cool.
Where do you go when you have the kids, or do you not? Do you not go? You order takeout.
Oh, they're pretty picky.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
It's, you know,
I don't. Well, because my thing is that I never. We go to like Tully's, and that's
Yeah.
What, don't be dissing on Tully's.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I'm not dissing on Tully's.
what
but
kids
I'm saying
eat.
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah.
But that's the only place that he'll
The best chicken
go.
tenders on earth.
Yeah.
Shout out, Dan.
But that's the only place he'll go, and I like it there a lot. But there's so many good places to try.
Right,
And
that's
I'm
how we
like-
are.
Yeah.
I like wish he would go somewhere else and not like. But it's different because he's very comfortable in like a restaurant setting. So like he'll like when he's here, he thinks he can run around
Yeah.
the whole place. Like he'll take his like shoes off and his coat off, and like he's home. And so like we go to another restaurant, and I'm like, you can't do that. Like what's going on? And so. Yeah.
We've gone out. We've gone out with our kids. Our kids are pretty good about it. We've gone to Sharong, I think is how you say it. It's a Korean restaurant on Fayette over by
Oh,
our
shoot,
new
I don't know
spot.
that place. Oh.
It's really really great. That was really really good. It's a Korean restaurant. My kids are half Korean, so
Yep.
they can eat half
Yep.
and half. Half American and half.
I get intimidated by that. Like I love the people at King. I just saw Nader and talked to him for a while at King David's.
Oh, yeah, we go
I-
in there.
I
That's
love
by our
I love
house.
Nader and his whole family. They're like the nicest people, and just menu intimidates me.
Yeah.
it's intimidating because I don't know what to order or how to order. He just changed in the Fairmont location and made it more of a Chipotle kind of model where you walk in,
still gotta go
instead of having to pick something off the menu and say, I want this bowl or that bowl, you just go, I want white rice, I want jalapenos, I want chicken, I want this sauce, and you kind of build it as you go. And he did it for 2 reasons. One, because it was tough to find people to work to teach all the menus. This way, white rice, okay, chicken, yeah, and to make it easy.
Yeah.
So
I'm that way with Indian food. I love Indian food, but I don't know enough about
I'm
to go to a restaurant and no, I'll just buttered chicken. Like I just
Yeah.
end up with the same thing all the time, and I want to try.
I'm not as brave. I'm not that brave.
You just like blow money though. Like, don't you have like?
Yeah, I still
just
got. Oh, I had a bunch of gift cards. I
gift
just-
cards that you
yes.
can just go and just spend whatever you want.
We did this whole this gift card thing got a little out of control, man. And when COVID was in its heat, I'm good. I'm friends with a lot of these restaurant owners, and yeah, I guess you could call them a client because I do work with them and try to help them with the business side of it. But they're my friends. And when COVID was in its heat, I know that a lot of independently owned restaurants, chains as well, I bet, between November and between Thanksgiving and Christmas, they sell a shitload of gift cards. And then they live off the money that those gift cards put in the bank for them in January and February. And sure, some gift cards may trickle in, but January and February typically the shittiest months. And I knew going in with COVID that nobody was buying fucking gift cards. So I did a promotion thing on Facebook, and I challenged my friends and everybody I know. I'm gonna go and buy $50 gift cards from 50 different restaurants between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I'm gonna hold them. So we did. And then we had an event that Michelle and I and a bunch of local people did. Dan at Heritage Hill was fortunate enough to offer up his space. We did a chili cook-off. We had 10 restaurants up there to raise money for the Orange Zone restaurants, which was really a good event. And that was cool. So at that
Yeah,
event.
we get it. You're a great guy.
No, the restaurant, no, my guy. So Ryan McMahon came, he was one of the judges, and we were talking, having a beer. A lot of good shit happens over beer. He came up with the idea of the voucher program. So you remember that, the vouchers. So Ryan and I did that. He had the idea, helped his team figure it out logistically. So you had to go online and download a voucher. So I did that and got some bunch of gift cards. And then Madison County reached out for help, and Oswego County and Cayuga County. So we did that. And I got a bunch of vouchers and got gift cards. And then we just did another event where we sold a bunch of gift cards through Anthony Tringale. So
You got a lot of, he's got a lot.
I put the spreadsheet together because the gift cards were just sitting in these little recipe book things. Organized them all and got a spreadsheet. I got like, I don't know, $8,200 worth of fucking gift cards for a local restaurant. So it makes sense that we go to a restaurant where you got a gift card.
Right.
So that was kind of a long story to get. But that segues into how, I was surprised that like David Hoyt and I are friends. Dan Palladino and I are friends. They didn't know each other. You know, how's that possible? And Michelle, who we're friends now, we weren't always friends, but we're friends. And how does she not know maybe Maria at Sant'Angelo's? How do these restaurant owners not know each other? So we kind of put these groups together so they could start doing events and going to and supporting each other. But I think that already happens with breweries,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say, do you guys
And
feel
food
like-
trucks, really big with food trucks, happens.
Yeah, I mean, I know pretty much everybody in the brewing industry, one way or the other. But part of that is, you do.
And it's positive. It's not
It's like tasting events, though. Is that like a
Yeah,
huge
so,
networking thing? Or not tasting, but like beer fests?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the best part about a beer fest is going to the other breweries and drinking their beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to, well, and I still do now, but I mean, the one thing I didn't do probably for the first 3 years we were open was go to other breweries because
Yeah.
I worked every day at my brewery. And I didn't really want to go to a brewery when I wasn't at my brewery.
Right.
But I got back into that. But yeah, I mean, that's.
I think that's part of being a restaurant owner. It's like you're like, well, yes, I could go, to another restaurant, or I could take a day off from restaurants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happens,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or bars, generally.
Right, and I think you get hyper focused on your location and
But do you think it's as competitive? I know some restaurant owners who I don't want to name, and I got great respect for locally here.
Let's name them. Come on,
No,
let's
no.
lay it on.
After Ryan turns the camera off. But I have great respect for them, but they're me first
Another
people.
one?
sure.
They're me first people. They want to run their business, and if it means you don't get business, they're okay with that, right? And it's a business. I understand that, but I want to work with people that want everybody to be successful because that's how successful
I'm
you are.
not done with this one.
Freaking
So-
like 11 o'clock in the morning, dude. What's up?
So I think that
Feeling okay?
breweries have it better because you guys want everybody to succeed,
fine.
right?
You driving me home?
know.
More
Well,
breweries that make it, the more better for the breweries.
Sure.
Right? You don't hate on any breweries? I actually asked Tim who he would want to come. I asked Tim first, no offense.
That's
I
all
said,
right.
are there any local breweries that you don't like? He's like, I don't like anybody.
That
I
is
said, is
true.
there anybody? He goes, well, give me some choices. So he asked, he said you. So
Thanks, Tim.
That's nice.
So, but
Okay, settle down.
Wait, that tail is getting hard.
Makes my tail wag, just like a nugget.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
okay. So there's some local beer fests.
Yep.
What are they? What are the ones?
I mean,
There's
some of the-
the one at the Met Stadium.
Yep,
That's
the
a big one.
ballpark one is always fun. The New York State Craft Brewers Association at the Landmark in November is always a good
yeah.
one to
Oh,
go
cool.
to.
I've never been to that one. Yeah, that's cool.
That's a fundraiser for the Brewers Association, which they're great because they help us with lobbying and
Is it
whatnot with the
state or is it local? Like
It's state. So
There's a lot of people that go to that one.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, they sold out this past year.
Yeah.
And then the other big one is at the fairgrounds, which this year is March 25th, I think.
I've been to that one. Yeah.
Which
that's-
one's your favorite? Do you go to all three?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The ballpark one's fun, but I think the Landmark one is my favorite because it's just. I mean, it's a pretty cool venue, and
Yeah.
It's all New York State breweries
yeah,
too.
it's all
so
New York
all your
State.
friends from around New York.
Do you
cool.
go to
One
all
thing.
three?
Oh yeah, we go to those. Yeah.
Which one's your favorite? The Landmark too?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
It's cool because it is all New York State breweries,
Yeah.
so you just kind of know everybody.
Right.
If you don't know somebody, like, hey, I don't know that guy, then you meet him and
See, that's
it's
cool.
great,
I don't know
yeah.
why the restaurant association, New York State has a restaurant association, and then they have local chapters. Syracuse had a chapter, and they used to do really well. They had some connection. And Mark Sinacropi passed away, fell out of a tree, and broke his leg and ended up dying. But that was 20 years ago. There isn't really any connection now with these guys. There's no
With
way to get
restaurants?
together
Do you have free
with
time?
restaurants. Yeah, that's the
Start
problem
something
too. Yeah, try
Another
to
thing
do,
about
try to do
restaurants.
events.
Right.
By
It's hard.
nature, it's just really competitive, I think, too.
Think about
because-
restaurants.
Yeah.
There's only, I don't know, in New York State, like 500 breweries or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah. Oh God, there's.
Think about how
50,000.
many restaurants
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna be communicating with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially for restaurants, we have a budget of X number of dollars that we're going to spend going out to dinner.
Right.
Brewery, alcohol.
budget. That's 'cause
I
you're a
oh, I have a
banker.
budget.
You're a conscientious
Yeah.
consumer.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin.
There you go.
Yes,
I didn't
yeah.
know that's
Yeah.
what I was, but
Yeah.
apparently I am.
Yeah.
I think everybody's turning into that. I think was the main thing is that now you just have to care about
Right.
how much you spend because everything's expensive. But
Well, I think it's not just I think the piece he was talking about wasn't just as much as the amount of money, but with everything that just happened and the challenges everybody had personally, I think people are conscientious just as much about how much money they spend is about where they spend it. They want to spend it with a place that maybe supports their business or supports them, or they're going to have a good time, or they're going to, they saw something on social media that said you had a situation going on here and you helped somebody else, so they want to go help you. That's where their conscience lies, spending their money locally. We've had some great people on. The people from, John Tomino. Do you guys know John from In My Father's Kitchen?
I mean, by reputation, I don't think I've
He
met him personally.
gives of himself, and it's just amazing. You think you're a good person, and you give, and then you see what he does.
Well,
and,
I think we as business owners in our community have a responsibility to give back in some way, shape, or
Yeah.
form. I mean, I know you have charities that you're involved in. We were involved with Griffin's Guardians up in Cicero.
what do they do?
It is a child cancer support group. So families that have a child going through cancer treatment, they're there to assist with whatever, whether it's bills, mortgage, NIMO, they're there to help. But they also fund a researcher
Oh,
to
nice.
help
Okay,
cure childhood cancer.
that's good. That's
So,
nice.
I mean, that's, I don't know,
Yeah.
something.
see, and it's not something that you see on the forefront. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do it not for the promotion part of it, but do it for the goodwill part of it. But
I
something
think,
you
like,
should see.
yeah, like you said, that there's just a piece of you as a business owner that's like, okay, we need to.
I mean, I'd love to
help
support a
more,
lot,
but,
but
yeah.
financially,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
what it
I
is.
get an email or a phone call probably once or twice a week about someone who's looking for some
day.
type of donation. And as much as I want to support everybody, that's just not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a small micro brewery. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
tiny.
I told you there's a
3-barrel system.
What do you do?
What's-
Who are your connections with? Or what?
charities.
I feel like Helping Hounds. Is that a weird?
Yeah, we do helping house
Yeah,
stuff
they
a
have
couple
like
times a year.
Can you bring your dogs? I feel
So
like.
you can't bring your dogs anymore. We used to be
Oh.
dog friendly indoors. We
Oh,
do have a
okay.
dog friendly patio now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we used to have a little dog park out there. We had like
Oh,
it was all fenced in area. You could just bring
That's
your dog.
another
and
big
run
thing
around.
of breweries. I think it's most breweries have an outside space, and it's dog friendly
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a pig pen in our parking lot.
for
That's-
pigs.
That's the one thing. Well, it's because we're
Boar,
full bore.
yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm
yeah.
witty.
Yeah.
We went.
Yeah.
We went a couple of years
Oh,
ago,
I
maybe
like that.
6 or
Clever.
7 years ago, to a brewery way out. It's called All American Brewery. Do you know that brewery? It's
familiar
way
with that.
out, like Geneva-ish, or out the other side of Rochester. We went because they had an all-day event with food trucks, and they had a different band every hour from 10 o'clock in the
that's
morning
cool.
until 10 o'clock at night. So we went. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a winery. It's All American
Okay.
Winery, and go to get a glass. They just sell you by the bottles, like $9. We just sit in the grass, but it's super dog friendly. There's like dog dishes everywhere. And my wife, we both even her got a little tipsy. And we're up dancing. We like to listen to live music. And we're looking up, and all of a sudden, it was 7 o'clock at night, and people are dancing with their dogs. And one guy was making out pretty fucking hard with his collie, like kissing him and
Shut
hugging
the
him. But
fuck
all these
up.
guys ask my wife, ask him. They were making out, dancing with their dogs. That's a little too much dog friendly. But, I love my dog. We don't have the dog anymore, but I loved my dog when we had the dog. But I'm not going to
Dude,
slow dance with it.
My kid got attacked by a dog last night.
Oh my gosh, wait.
At outside our house, yeah. I gotta tell
my
you the
gosh,
story
okay,
afterwards, but
please
yeah.
don't count.
Yeah, so we're not making out with any dogs anytime
Okay,
soon,
yeah,
but,
okay.
yeah. So anyways, back to what you were saying.
yes.
Where are you at with that, with community things?
Helping
Because I feel
hounds,
like
other
you
things.
do a lot,
So we do. I mean, it's
but
almost,
just with different.
yeah, like
programs.
every quarter, it seems like we have some type of charity event going on. We have,
We got
Yeah,
one coming up, right? The Derby.
oh, the Derby.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
we have
Crystal told me I had to give you
Oh.
$100 of gift cards.
Oh, okay. All right,
so,
cool.
to sponsor for the Derby.
Yes,
so.
some of the prizes for our Pinewood
so.
Derby.
Then she asked me to make I don't know how to make a card.
And that's something
What's
we
it-
do with
yeah,
the Boy
what's it-
Scouts of America.
Oh, it's Boy Scouts of
Yeah,
America.
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
called the Longhouse Committee or I don't know. It's on the sheet.
I think you're
did bring
correct.
it with me. The Longhouse
Something like that, yeah.
Boy Scouts of America, and they come
longshoremen.
and host it.
Longhouse Council. Boy
Yeah,
Scouts of
yeah.
America.
So we do all that. So I think it goes back to what you were saying about like going to a brewery. Yeah, breweries are really like extremely customer facing. Everybody is very like community involved. That's why like when someone says I'm opening a brewery across town, I don't think like, oh wow, like now I'm gonna have less customers.
Right.
Because what happens if you're open? There's one opening over in DeWitt, kind of off of Erie Boulevard area. That whole community of home housing around that area, that's going to be their new like tavern, like their new local
Yeah.
little pub, and they're going to go in there and they're going to try craft beer for maybe the third time in their life, you know, and they're going to become a part of that community. They're like, hey, we got this thing going on Friday. It's a benefit for
Oh,
you
cool.
know.
Yeah.
And
So I
it,
find
it grows the community of people who consume craft beer.
the tap room has kind of turned into that neighborhood.
Yeah,
pub.
I agree.
Like if you're,
Interesting.
you know, if you have
I mean,
somebody,
we pull most of our regulars from within like a 3-mile radius
Yeah.
of the brewery. And those are the people, I mean, those are the people who kept us going during COVID and our biggest supporters, you know.
and if there's someone in your community that's struggling with something, you know, and they're a regular at the bar, and it's a brewery, most likely that brewery is going to do something like
Yeah.
try and help out. It's just
Yeah.
kind of how the community has just developed. So
You brought up something I hadn't thought about before. So a while ago, I wasn't a brewery guy. I drink Mick Ultra, whatever. That's what I'm not going to order. I maybe changed, but friends of mine, George and Jane especially, they're kind of, George is a beer snob. He thinks he maybe knows more than what he knows. When he goes in, he has to look at the menu and order something. And I'm like, I was intimidated. Like, I'm not going to go. I just want to get a Mick Ultra. You can't get a Mick Ultra at Joe's Brewery. But I started, like you said, all of a sudden I became a brewery guy because I went to a couple breweries. Now I go to a lot of breweries. If we go out of town, I try to find a brewery. So you made a good point. Maybe when this opens in DeWitt and there's nothing out there now, maybe there's 75 people that are intimidated by a brewery are going to go, I'll go check this place out. Next thing you know, they're going to breweries.
Exactly.
So that's a pretty cool
Do you
way to
think
look
that
at
there's
it.
still a lot of people that are like unfamiliar with craft
oh
beers?
yeah, a big
Definitely.
Really?
And
Okay.
what's amazing to me is how many people that come into our place and like, how long have you guys been here? Like, well, 6.5 years. Like, oh, I live like a mile away. I didn't know you were here.
How's
So,
it possible? Yeah.
it's-
There's a lot of things going on. I don't know. Sometimes.
Well, you brought up COVID too. When COVID hit, that really shut you guys down because if you're not doing food, how did you get
Yeah,
through it? What
I
was
mean,
your
that was a fun time. And I remember, I think it was January, Eric and I were at the brewery and we were having a conversation. And I was like, you know, China just shut down a city of 6 million people. Like, what the hell happens if that comes here?
Yeah.
I mean, and luckily we were still able to do to-go beer. And that was enough to keep the lights on and keep things going. And again, that's where the support of the community came
Yeah,
in.
they definitely.
I mean, I know I had people buying beer that didn't need any more beer because they were coming in.
Whoa,
you
whoa!
know,
There's a limit on the amount of beer you can
well, the
need.
fridges only hold so much.
Yeah.
You know, and buying gift cards and merchandise and doing whatever they could to help us. And then, you know, once June came, the interesting part was, you know, because we didn't have food, but we had to serve food, we got off with selling 25-cent bags of potato chips.
Yes. I've eaten a lot of those chips. Man.
I did not have the hot pockets or whatever.
What did
guys
you
selling?
do?
The peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, we
things?
did Uncrustables.
Yeah, that's
Uncrustables,
it.
So
Not hot pockets.
they're like little kids.
They're pre-made.
Yeah, pre-made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It's like basically a peanut butter and jelly sandwich dumpling, but it's made from bread.
With
Oh my gosh.
grape jelly.
Yeah, grape or strawberry. If you get the elusive strawberry,
eats
that was a
grape
really
jelly?
busy weekend.
I know. My son loves those things.
Yeah, we so when I was like, well, I gotta serve food now. We never served food.
Right.
So you know, I got some food from Rich's program there. It's like what was the name of Rich and Mark's thing? They did a bunch of produce. Rich Strub. He did like a food. Started like a wholesale food marketplace during COVID.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
And they delivered cheese curds, local cheese
Oh, wow,
curds,
cool.
local feta and stuff. So we started getting some of that. But at the same time, like they said the next day, because all that legislation was like, or legislation, it was
yeah.
like, okay, now tomorrow you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
So at the time,
Yeah,
we
that
were
was
like,
so
what do we
frustrating.
do? So like, well, I'll go to Costco. We have a Costco membership. So we went to Costco and like, what about these? I sent to our manager. I was like, oh yeah, okay, get them. So I bought all the Uncrustables at Costco. It's like a half
my
a pallet.
gosh.
And then so if you come to the bar, you got to buy an Uncrustable for $1 because I don't know why they made us do that, but yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
But people,
so-
it really caught on because people feed them to their dogs.
Yeah.
It was a dog bar.
yeah. Oh,
Or their
that's cool.
kids.
or their kids,
Feed it to
dogs
the
and
dogs.
kids.
It's got peanut butter in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Kids and
So-
dogs are fighting
Kids and
over
dogs,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Exactly. So we did that. Yeah, that was silly. But
Yeah.
But
So, I
isn't it
mean-
amazing how that seems like now you guys said 5 years, 6 years?
6.5, be
So
7
that's
in
3
June.
years ago. You guys are fairly new business.
Yeah.
You made a commitment, leaving your jobs and you know investing and doing. You got to be looking at life like what the fuck is going to happen.
Yeah.
And one
yeah.
that's 3 years ago, but it seems like 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, I find it interesting. Everything is pre-COVID or
Yeah,
after
yeah.
COVID. Like,
Yeah.
that's how we differentiate our lives now.
I don't ever think that I say during COVID though.
No,
I just
yeah.
forget
Pre-
I like
yeah.
block it out, and I'm like, either we did this before COVID or we do it now. Like not the 3 year or 2 years that was.
when all the
COVID.
rules just
Oh my
they
God,
didn't make
so
any sense. The
arbitrary
whole
that
you talked
just-
about the orange zone, like
Yeah.
so the zip code basically we were in a different zip code, so we could be open in November, December when you guys were in the orange zone, and you're like 2 miles away and you're closed because
we're across the street from the mall and they were open and we were
You
closed.
couldn't
Yeah,
be. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of traffic from the mall? You think?
We used to. This past November, December, I was telling you, I was like, how was yours? Because ours wasn't. And it hadn't been for 2 years, but we were
Yeah.
closed for one of them. And the other one, we might as well have been closed because there was new scary
Just-
stuff,
I mean,
you know?
the mall was open, but Tony at Market Diner couldn't serve.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, the mall's open. People are going in the mall, but you can't come and eat at Market
Go to
Diner.
Popeyes there.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, you can go to the mall restaurants, but not him. That didn't make any sense.
yeah, such
But people got very creative,
Yep.
and they
Well, you had to.
adapted and they pivoted, and you know.
When we shut down, I think it was like a Monday I think it was a Monday, they said we can't be open tomorrow. And we're like, well, what do we do? And, you know, I had a friend in Chicago and they had shut down the week before. And he said, just do curbside. And like, it's like the buzzword, like do that. So we just did
Yeah.
curbside that next Tuesday. It was one of the busiest Tuesdays we've ever had, for
Do you,
sure.
do you still do? So I know a lot of restaurants. I use Tissone's as an example in Beeville. Pre-COVID, they did maybe less than 5% of their business was to go. During COVID, because they had to adapt and do what
Right.
they had to do, they were 50% or more of to go. And today, still, they're probably 20% to go because it kind of stayed on.
it?
Are you still doing the to go and the curbside? Is that still a piece of your business?
we never really did curbside. So we opened our door and left it open and had a corral. Basically, you had to
Yeah.
go around and one person in line at a time and keep separated by 6 feet. And we kept the door open, and it was probably the coldest March and April we've ever had, and I froze. My hands would like be turning blue. But I mean, yeah. So we pivoted because we weren't canning at that point in time. So once COVID hit,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
we had to figure it's like, okay, we got to get beer out of the door any way we possibly can. There were shortages of crowler cans and growlers
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and
wasn't
like
there
all
a
this
shortage?
stuff.
I know the
that
guys
you
at
never
Lock
thought
One
about.
said they couldn't get like the tops. You could get the container, but you couldn't get that it was
Yeah, I mean,
arbitrary.
They expected X number of cans to be sold, and all of a sudden the demand's going up by 300%. It's just that the supply wasn't there. Yeah. So I mean, we started canning at that point in time. Changed, and we still can. I mean, to-go beer is probably about 25% of our.
Wow. And that's
sales.
just that's out your door. I mean, you
Yeah, we
bottle
don't
and
distribute
ship,
really.
and
It's
ship, right? So that's, 25% out of your own door is pretty
Right.
wild. What do you think your piece is?
It's 25% or so at our original brewery, and it's only about 10% at our other
Yep.
Syracuse location.
But then you do distribute.
Well, we distribute 80 or 90, 80 something percent of our beer
You don't
does.
self-distribute.
No, Onondaga Beverage
Yeah,
or
cool.
A.L. George is our local for about 12 counties locally, and then we have Gasco and Meyer for the rest of New York State.
Oh, cool.
And then we have Womelsdorf Beverage in Pennsylvania, and we have Almaca in
Oh, wow, so you got it out.
Illinois. Yeah.
Latosha, you deal with John?
Yeah.
John's a good guy. I've known him a long time. He's a good guy. He knows what he's doing. So shout out to John. I'll tag him. So we're coming close to an end.
Yeah.
So one question is, so you've been doing it 5-6 years. You went through, COVID. Where do you see the next 5 years? What do you see happening? What are you planning on happening in the next 5 years that you're going to have to deal with?
So we've got
gotta
to
be
come. We got to
changing.
come up, make a decision on where we're going and what we're going to do.
Lease running out or?
We still have 2 more years on our current lease.
Yep.
And the question is, do we stay the same size we are, or do we get big? And I think if we get big, we've got to get bigger and change the whole model, have a kitchen. Like there's certain things that I wish we had. I wish we had green space. When we opened the brewery in 2016, that wasn't a big piece, but COVID changed things. People want to be outside.
Yeah.
So, sitting in a parking lot on pavement is not outside.
Staring at
Yeah.
Applebee's and
Right,
yeah.
and Planet Fitness and
Planet
whatnot.
Fitness,
But
yeah.
so I mean, there's that piece. We have a wish list of what we want, but that's expensive.
Yeah.
So then we have to make a decision on: do we look for investors? Now's not the time to borrow money,
No. Ooh,
so because it's not getting
just ask Michelle.
cheaper.
Borrowed a bunch of money to redo O'Days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I like the green space. So you have ideas of how you want to make it.
Yeah. I mean, we're at a crossroads. We have to make up our minds on what we want to do and where we want to go.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
Barry?
We're looking forward to just hanging out for a year and being open without a year of some type of disruption.
Yeah.
With the 2 places, the place opened in last fall, it was a big outlay to open a new spot.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of waiting for that to kind of start to come back around. We don't know what's going to happen over there. And then
Do you
over
think
the
the
course
retail
of the next
space
year.
grows faster than the on-premise, or do you think it's the other way around?
You mean own premise, like our own bars?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Wait, what are you asking?
Do you think
Like-
do you think there's going to be an increase in the people that come and drink on site, or the retail piece of your selling beer out to go to your brand? Which way is the brand going to increase? Or do you want both?
Our biggest open space is probably draft lines at bars,
Yeah.
because post COVID, during COVID, our package went through the roof, like we're selling cans out for distribution. We couldn't make enough. We couldn't get enough cans to sell enough beer. We just couldn't. Now, post COVID, we don't have salespeople anymore. We used to have salespeople to go out and sell beer.
So you're doing it.
So I'm doing it. Crystal's doing it. Sean's doing it. Our other brewer, just trying to get out there and sell beer again, because you can't sell beer to a bar to put on tap unless you have someone that goes there and takes something else off to put
Yeah.
that on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have the are you actively looking for that, or you have to grow a little bit more to get a salesperson?
We're very close to being able to hire somebody back again, because previous to COVID, for New York State, we had two guys covering half the state basically each, and then obviously that went away when on premise went away. Cans grew like crazy, so that held us over.
Yeah.
And cans are easy to get a placement for, because it's just this little 10 square inch spot that you put your 4-pack. But as far as the tap handle goes, there's only 18
Yeah, taps
handles
are-
at every restaurant.
Latosha,
right?
man, he's tough on it. Back when we had the place, if I took a handle away from him, he cried like a baby
Yeah.
and wanted to punch me. So it was handles are.
And here's
commodity, man.
another dynamic is we're all compatriots, right? In this industry against
Oh
big
wow!
beer.
So you're going
it's
in
like,
taking a full bore handle
well, you
off.
can't take off Blue Moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
who do you take off? And it's like, well, I'm
I
it's,
never thought
next
about it
bar.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's trouble, because everybody wants Bud Miller, Coors, Blue Moon, and then 19 different crafts, but oh well, don't take off Kevin's beer because whatever.
Well, the other thing that's challenging, I think, is I'm going to be 60 this year. I know it's hard to believe because I look so young, but I'm going to be 60, and I drink differently. My friends drink differently than millennials drink. And I think probably kids
definitely.
25 to 35 are going to more breweries than people 60. Maybe I'm wrong. But when they
I think
drink,
those are the two biggest demographics.
the middle doesn't as much.
Not really.
So when
They're
I go
busy.
out with my friends, I'm drinking I drink Mick Ultra when I'm out in a bar. If I'm really going to a brewery or something, I drink something that's a sour. I ask them if they have a sour. But for the most part, everyday beer, I'm drinking Mick Ultra. And I'll have
Sour?
Yeah, I like the sweet part. So the
Oh, I
sour
didn't
part or
know
whatever.
that.
So the fruity part. So I go out and drink 4 or 5 beers. It's going to be Mick Ultra. If I go to my regular bar, they know I'm drinking Mick Ultra. The millennial, the kid that's 25, 30, he may drink this in a local bar for 2 weeks, and then he's off this and he's onto something else. So how do you know what to keep in? They could be, somebody can go, this place can go, oh my God, we sell a barrel and a half a week of XYZ, and then 2 weeks from now, they don't sell any of it because 6 guys aren't coming here and drinking that anymore. They're drinking something else.
Over at the university location, we sell a ton of the sours and a lot of Pilsner. And one of the IPAs does pretty good over there, whereas at the brewery location, our number 1 seller is IPA, and then our number 2 seller is the Thousand
Jackson's,
Tinies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'd
it kind of
say
depends where you are.
IPAs still rule our tap lines. We generally have 4 to 5 on, and they're going to outsell everything else combined.
Do you switch them up just to keep it
Yep.
different? Or you,
Yeah, we keep rotating.
You got it,
through.
yeah.
And then one of our most popular beers, we do a chocolate peanut butter porter that people love. But I have our Pilsners. We're doing a Schwarzbier, a dark lager right now that's very popular. So
I think like because Pat, my partner, drinks a lot of beer, but we'll go, and he'll get, if he has 3 beers, all 3 of them will be different. Like he won't go.
oh,
and get-
wow, I don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, they'll usually be like, if he's doing like IPAs or like dark ales or whatever he's going to do, but it'll be 3 different.
Maybe if you
Yeah.
could decide on one beer, maybe you decide to get a ring. If you could just pick a beer.
Make that decision.
Well,
Make
see,
that
I-
decision.
so
He can't decide
indecisive.
on his beer. How's he going to pick you as
Oh
his
my
wife?
God. Listen,
So, okay, well, so what's the well, I got a question. if I can-
you go first.
So when you were younger or now or whatever, do you have a nickname? Was there a nickname when you were a kid that you didn't like or liked? Do people still call it to you, or what was the nickname you had? But everybody's got a nickname. When you were
see.
growing up, out in Shitnango, did you when you drink a beer at the 10 pin when you were 15, did they give you a nickname?
Nah.
No nicknames ever?
No. Can I give myself one?
Yeah, what's your
How about the Timbo Machine?
the Timbo?
The Timbo Machine.
The Timbo Machine.
Yeah. How's
okay.
that work?
I don't know if you get to give yourself a nickname. I can't believe you never had a nickname. That's
I don't believe
No,
that.
they call me
had-
Timmy Jr. What?
Timmy Jr.
Yeah, because my dad's senior.
Yeah.
If
what,
that's your
did
name,
you have a
Junior.
nickname?
Yeah.
They call me Junior.
What was it?
Junior. That makes sense.
My nickname was Grimace.
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 Yeah.
What from
From
why?
Grimace because you.
So, yeah, apparently at some point in time in college, I had a super big old stupid grin on my face one night, and somebody said, "Oh, you look like that guy from McDonald's." And they meant to say the Hamburglar, but
Yeah,
they said Grimace.
And then it's.
The next morning, I'm in the dining hall, and one of the guys is like, "Hey, Grimace." And it
It's
just
cr- isn't
it
it
never
crazy
went
how
away until I
they
graduated.
stick.
Yeah.
They stick like
People
that.
used to
Yeah.
call me Timmy
Timmy.
when I was in that was after high school though, because Timmy is like a South Park thing.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yes,
like,
yeah.
it was
yeah,
aired
that's
on
right.
Wednesdays,
Timmy,
and then
yeah.
Thursday morning I get to work. I was working as a trucker at 84 Lumber, just delivering.
Oh my
stuff.
God, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and then they're like, Timmy. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Like Timmy. I guess it was a thing on the show.
I can do
I
that.
never
Timmy
watched it.
And
but,
Grimace. I don't know if that's a
yeah.
pot, you know. So.
Oh.
But when we talked to John Mannion, he's like he wore a Rocky Blyer football jersey to school like twice in 1 week or something, and then for his entire high school they called him Rocky.
Okay.
It's
it makes
crazy
sense,
how
yeah.
nicknames.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
So the other one is favorite movie.
Favorite movie?
That's hard.
Oh.
That's hard.
I know, it catches you off guard, this question.
Don't say It's a Wonderful Life because
Shut the
Michelle's never
fuck
seen
up.
it. So
I won't. Now it's out of principle.
Friday.
Friday, good movie. Yes, good movie. I wouldn't think you would pick that, but that's a good movie. Good movie. Lot of good quotes
Yeah.
from that movie. Favorite.
That's very difficult because I like a lot of movies. But I'd say the one movie I'll stop and watch whenever I pass by is Goodfellas.
Yeah, great movie. I'm a big Godfather, Goodfellas guy. I appreciate the loyalty of family and stuff. That used to be, when I worked at a previous gig, one of my interview questions for people. Because they expect you to say, "What do you see yourself in 5 years? And what's your strongest trait? What's your weakest trait?" And I always ask them what their favorite movie is. And they always go, "Oh," and it catches them off guard. And when they pick what their favorite movie is, you can tell a lot about a person by their favorite movie. Clearly, you're racist. That's why you watch Fridays.
Oh, is that?
Just
I
kidding,
think
no,
we.
just kidding.
Did you?
That's
just
why
cancel me?
I married an Italian girl
Shit.
because I love the idea of the big Italian dinner. You know, Canadians, we don't have like a heritage food.
No.
You know, you don't sit around and eat a lot of poutine all the time. But I love a good Italian
I
meal.
went to college in Plattsburgh with a bunch of guys I lived with hockey guys, and they're all from Canada. We played a lot of broomball back in the day, but every swear word in French was something from the church. Like mon chali is like the thing you drink out of is a dirty word, and every like you say the end of every sentence they ever said was fuck.
I stopped saying A in third grade
But they go fuck. So
When you came to
when we moved to the United States.
stopped saying A?
Because little kids are.
pick on you.
mean.
Yeah, I stopped saying sorry and mum. 'Cause those are the other things
As
that
they say.
would trigger.
They used to end so they'd say, "Tim, what's going on? Fuck. You want to go out to, hey, Dave, you want to go out and Grimace? You want to go out and have a couple beers? Fuck." Everything was fuck at the end. Everything. So,
Yeah, that's my grandmother was like that.
and then
Okay,
Michelle's got a last question. A good question.
my last question
My
is,
grandmother's like that.
what if people were to take away like one thing about you from this podcast? What would you want it to be? I know.
Oh,
I'm-
I know mine.
Yeah,
what-
what is yours?
My stunning good looks.
Yes, that's good.
Is this on video too? It's not.
Yes,
it's a
this
podca-
is video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on video.
yeah.
That's right. Right.
Stunning good looks. Yes.
That's it.
Okay.
All right. I don't know. You know, I think you don't have to know anything about anything to try something new. 'Cause
I like that.
I
Oh
knew
wow, that's good. Never heard
absolutely
that one
nothing
before.
about being a brewer, and you know, the conversation. I got a call from my buddy Eric, and he's like, "I need to talk to you about something. Can you meet me for a beer?" Now, I would never turn down a meeting
Yeah.
for a beer for anything.
Yeah.
And you know, I was at the bank, so I'm like, "Oh, I got an appointment with a customer. Got to leave early." So we get to the bar, and he's like, I'm like, "What do you need to talk about?" And I'm thinking, like, "Oh crap, what do you do? What's wrong?" He's like, "I want to open a brewery, and I want you to be my partner." And I'm like, "What the hell do we know about running a brewery?"
Right. Cool.
And
That's pretty good. We've
Six
never
months.
heard that one
6
before.
months later, we signed a lease. Not even 6 months. That was March, and we signed a lease in July.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. That's a good one. Never heard that one before. You'd like to think when your friend calls you, what's the thing in the Matt Damon and Jeremy Renner in that movie about Boston, and Renner he walks in the thing, he goes, "Hey, I need you to leave right now. We got to leave in an hour. We're going to go. We're going to fuck some people up, and I don't know what's going to happen." And Jeremy Renner goes, "What time do we leave?" You know? So when your friend asks you, that's a pretty good one. Don't be afraid to,
You don't even remember what he said.
Yeah.
no, say it again so I remember.
I don't even know if I can say it again.
You don't have to know anything. Wait, what?
You don't
was
have
it?
to know anything about anything to
Do something new.
Yeah.
Do something new.
Uh,
That's
you
good.
just-
Yeah.
Good quote. Now that we
All
have
right. Well, thank you
Awesome.
guys
Thank you
so
guys
so
much.
much. Thank
We
you for the
appreciate
beer,
you.
too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
Thanks. Awesome.
High five.
Awesome. Cool.